This is good enough. Looking at it, I can see why LSU did so well last night. It looks like most of the people were in the audience in Houston praying for them. It was a great game. My name's Joe Willis. I'm one of your deacons. And, you know, when we give these testimonies, Pastor Garrett gives us these notes on how to do really well. So, short is good. Wait a minute. I got to read the rest of it. Wait a minute. Okay. I didn't read the whole thing. Sorry, Pastor Gary. Oh, well, like I said, my name's Joe Willis. I'm a deacon. We're supposed to let you guys get to know us a little bit. I grew up in a Christian family in North Carolina. I've been a Christian since the age 15, so God got me just before I got my license, which is a good thing. And to really get to know me, you also have to get to know my wife, Paula, because as the word says, the two become one, so we really are one. So you're just getting to know half of the side whenever I'm up here. And we've been married for, let me see, Paula, I'm checking my notes here, 32 years. And Paula will gladly tell you it's been 25 of the best years of her life. We have one son, Barton, who married a preacher's daughter. Won't hold that against him. And they are very strong, living loud for God here in Baton Rouge. They only live about a block and a half from us, which is really nice. And that's a blessing. And I also wanted to share with you guys something that God has been showing me recently. And that is that we as a church rely on each other. We are knit together. If you look through the Word, it's always talking about pray one for another, confess your faults one to another. There's all this one to another, love one another. A Christian is not meant to stand alone. And when you think about it, actually, if I spend my prayer life praying for myself, I've got one person praying for me. But if everyone here prays for everyone here, I mean, we got hundreds and hundreds of prayers going up for each other. So God knew what he was doing when he put us together. And what he's impressed even more upon me recently is the body of Christ. Christ is the head, and the church is the body. And for many years, I had this small idea of what the body was. I always think, First Pres, that's the body of Christ, because that's the church. But more and more, he's been showing me, no, that's not it. The body is the church. And when you think about the body, being a scientist, I can really understand it, how God put it together. Because you think of the body, it's made up of organelles, which come together to make cells, and those like cells come together to make tissue. That tissue comes together to make an organ. The organs come together to make organ systems like the nervous system, the circulatory system. All those systems come together, and when those systems come together, they make up the body. And then he started looking at like me as an individual. God is really interested in me, what I do, what I am. But also, I'm like an organelle. I'm one individual. I come together with Paula and my family, and maybe we come together, and you can look at us then, we make up cells. And then the individual families come together, these cells come together to make up the church, like First Pres. And that church then could be similar to the tissue. And then those individual tissues, the individual churches, they come together and make up a system of churches that work together to perform certain functions, like the heart, the liver. There's a church that the systems come together to make that. And then those systems of churches all come together to make the international church, the church as a whole. And that's been impressed more and more upon me as we see things happening over in the Middle East and all that, to Christians and to the church there. And it's not isolated, because the word says that when one part of the body suffers, the whole body suffers. Same way when one part rejoices, the whole part should rejoice. So that is a part of the body of Christ. And when they're suffering, we here are suffering. Maybe not as much, but the whole body is suffering. So the body of Christ is all of it. So we should be spending time praying and working together for what he's called us to do, but also making sure that the whole body stays healthy and works and functions the way it's supposed to. And that's what God's really been telling me lately. And so then just to close this out, since short is good, I just want to let you guys know that I am one of your deacons here. And at the deacons meeting, they tell us that is an office of deacon is one of compassion, concern for the needs, and of serving others. So that's what I'm here to do, to pray for you, to have compassion with you, and to serve you. Thanks for having me.